TV. Hope all is well with you and yours. What's good, what's good, what's good. So yeah, we actually had a lot of stuff going on over the weekend. We had a lot of stuff happen overnight due to news. I think the first thing that we should talk about is probably the key U.S. metrics that are coming out this week. We've got jobs, we've got CPI. Remember, some of this data is stale, it's old, it's been delayed. And I'm going to say for the record, I do not know if I'm going to trust it. One of the reasons why is just because of how this current regime moves. I just don't know that I can really rely on those numbers, but I will tell you this, they will have an impact. Whether I believe in them or not, they will have an impact on the stock markets. They will have an impact on the crypto markets, where liquidity seems to be iffy at best, in some ways. So I do think about that. Good morning, trader. Oh yeah, I see it. Boom. Thank you. Good morning, Grand Rising Fatima. So key U.S. economic data from December 15th to 19th, including CPI and other jobs data, is going to hit this week. That's going to be big. Leading cryptocurrency executives gathered in Abu Dhabi to see if they can get some of that Middle East money going on, which is also big. Just putting it out there for you so that you understand what's going on out there. Now, I don't know if you guys recall, but there was a moment in time where Tether offered a $1 billion all cash offer to, I think it's to Exor for the Juventus football team. It's an Italian-based football team, and I guess the Agnelli families were like, "Yeah, no, we don't want to do that." But $1 billion in cash, $1 billion cash offer, and they were like, "Yeah, nah, no, not right now." I don't know if that means that they have to sweeten the pot or if they literally just don't want to give up the team. But Tether purchasing a football club, a very well-known football club, no less, would be huge. Not a small thing, a huge thing. So I'm actually shocked by that. I'm shocked by the move, but I like it because I don't know if you've noticed, but over the past few years, the purchases, investments by Tether have been almost ridiculously diverse. They're showing that they are more than just a crypto story. And you should probably dig in and pay attention to that. I mean, they got into the agriculture game. They want to get into sports. Pay attention to this. They're making big moves. What else do we have? Chinese President Xi Jinping criticized fake data and wasteful projects as affecting the global economy. He wants the world to move toward real-time data. Wow. The reason why I say wow is because you just had Russia issue state bonds using the renminbi, China, okay? You had China, Russia, and India offload billions in U.S. treasuries. And they're slated to do more. When you look at the U.S. economy and you look at who's holding our debt, that's something that you must absolutely be concerned with. They hold a lot of U.S. debt. And to be dumping it on the market says a lot. Definitely says a lot. They clearly do not want to be reliant on the U.S. dollar. And if you look at the world right now, you can see everybody moving into two buckets. With the U.S. dollar, without the U.S. dollar. My question still remains, what about crypto? Which, if you really stop and think about it, well, that falls, flatly in the not U.S. dollar camp, doesn't it? Because crypto is denominated across different fiat around the world. And right now, I can tell you, if the United States keeps on this track, you're watching the decline of the U.S. dollar, and it'll be a rapid and painful decline if I look at history. Don't believe me? Do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. Somebody else that points this out is Ray Dalio. Go check out his videos. I'm telling you, check out his videos, read his books. He's got a book out right now that breaks down everything to a very simple pattern, a very simple way of discussing everything that's going on. He doesn't talk down to you, he speaks with you. It's amazing. What that man is doing is amazing, and you should probably pay attention. You can get a lot of education out of that. No, I do not know Ray Dalio myself. I have just seen the content. I've seen the content. I'm telling you, pay attention to it. Pay attention to it. You can learn a heck of a lot. Hex Trust launched wrapped XRP on Ethereum, Solana, Optimism, and Hyper EVM with $100 million in liquidity, integrating XRP into multiple blockchains and shifting its role to DeFi collateral though raising concerns about custodial risks and liquidity fragmentation. The other risk, wrapped anything. Wraps and bridges concern me, or I find to be concerning. So again, do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. If you're not sure about what you're doing, you should probably not be doing it. This is what I tell my kids. Just saying. Just putting it out there for you so you have a deeper understanding, a better understanding of what's going on. You want a foundational interest? You have a foundational interest in crypto? Go buy my books. They're both on Amazon. Just look up Eddie Johnson, PMP, CSM. Because there's another Eddie Johnson, just saying. So if you look up Eddie Johnson, PMP, you'll find both books. You'll get a lot out of them. I promise you'll get a lot out of them. Then you've got Germany's exports to China fell 25% since 2019, contributing to an 88 billion euro trade deficit in 2025, prompting protective measures for steel makers and stricter rules on Chinese tech components amid declining competitiveness in automotive and chemical sectors. I know for a fact that in the automotive sector, they're doing a lot of discounts to move those cars. I think all car manufacturers around the world need to pay attention to what China is doing. China's willing to take a hit to introduce Chinese vehicles to the world. It doesn't mean they're good. It doesn't mean they're bad. It means they're trying to get into certain markets, and they will be in the European market very soon. I think as soon as next year. So that's going to make people in the US market start to think about what's going on. And I think you could wind up seeing a proliferation of Chinese vehicles in the United States. If they're allowed to open up dealerships, or if they're allowed to operate in certain ways, they'd be able to do it. And let me tell you something. You want to know who doesn't have dealerships? Tesla. So the playbook is already there. I'm telling you, pay attention to this. Again, China's not playing a short game. China's playing a long game. And people don't put a lot of effort into understanding that. And I think they should. I truly think they should. What else do we have going on? The Bank of Japan will sell $500 billion in ETFs over 112 years. 112 years. That's funny. Starting next month with annual sales of $330 billion, using Sumitomo Mitsui Trust Bank as the seller amid global market volatility and AI sell-offs and weak Chinese economic data, which is true. The whole world is having economic issues. So just because BRICS wants to move away from the dollar does not mean that that's a better choice. It's just a different one. It's just a different one. Something else that I'm paying attention to, Standard Chartered and Coinbase expanded their partnership to create institutional digital asset services, offering trading, custody, staking, and lending solutions, leveraging Standard Chartered's global reach and Coinbase's crypto infrastructure. Can you just say, wow? If you look at Coinbase, if you look at Kraken, if you look at a couple of other, exchanges, they're each making big moves. They're all just different. Not to mention the coin companies like a Ripple, like a Coin, like a Circle, like Tether, like Paxos. They're all making big moves, but a lot of them are in different ways. which is why I tell people, take a step back, analyze the companies that you're interested in, the projects that you're interested in, and start to think about what their long-term plans are. What doors open because of the moves they're making? What doors close because of the moves that they're making? It's time to take a deep dive and analysis or analyze, especially the 5 that just got the bank charters, right? Trust bank charters. There's a trust bank. Go look that up. There's a difference. It's not enough time here to give a class. But I will announce that we are going to start introducing another class called Learn How to Do Your Own Research. We'll be bringing back that class starting in January. Either January or February. We'll give you guys more than enough time frame to actually catch up, but we are bringing back those classes because I'm starting to see questions from people that say that they're either not paying attention or not doing their own research, or they don't know how. I mean, I speak about it as if it's easy, but I have tricks in my head that help me get there quickly that a lot of people don't have. So I'll be sharing those in class. And like I said, I'm going to try to start them in January. It'll probably be late January. I want to give people more than enough time to figure it all out and, prep for it. So maybe late January, early February, I'll plan those classes. And there'll be 2 flavors of classes. I might only do a live one the first time, but after that, we will be having an online self-paced course, and we'll be introducing more online self-paced courses in 2026. I told you everything hinged on the new platform, and the new platform is here. We're going to be introducing new products, new services, new ways to learn, new things to learn on that platform as we go forward. Just more and more polish as we go on. And if you want to read the articles, you'll see links from the articles across all the top socials, right? Well, except for Instagram because they don't do links, but LinkedIn, Facebook, well, maybe not Facebook, LinkedIn, Blue Sky, Threads. I'm missing one. LinkedIn, Blue Sky, Threads. There's another one, but you'll see us everywhere. You'll see us everywhere. What other news do we have? The Bank of Japan, I told you about that. Standard Chartered, I told you about that. Interactive Brokers introduced a funding option allowing clients to deposit USDT and USDC. Let me read that to you again, just so you can understand this. Interactive Brokers introduced funding options allowing clients to deposit USDT and USDC directly into their trading accounts. Yeah, you heard me. You absolutely heard me. Do you know what that means? That means that when you go in with your stable coins, Interactive Brokers is going to give you credit for that money, allow you to do what you want to do, and off-ramp your funds. That's going to be a massive convenience. And I'm waiting for others to catch up. That's going to be interesting. Overkill, what's good? So don't forget to invest in yourself today. Go do that research. Understand your entries and exits and absolutely invest deliberately. I want you guys to do that on a daily basis. Now, I don't know if you knew, but North Korean hackers stole about $300 million in fake Zoom meetings. I've been seeing those pop up on Zoom and on Teams. So do not accept any invitations from anybody that you don't know. It's been crazy. It's been crazy. And this is on top of Ethereum's bug after the Fusaka upgrade. Now, that's okay. They caught the bug, but still, some of their validators lost about 382 ETH in rewards. So it was something that they had to take care of fairly quickly. The FSOC removed digital assets from its list of financial system vulnerabilities in its 2025 report, reclassifying them as a significant market development to monitor, with key changes including the Genius Act framework and stablecoins and regulatory updates. Yeah, that's the United States paving the way to really get crypto going and really out there. I'm telling you, 2026 is going to be volatile. Where there's volatility, there's opportunity. Just saying. Rapper Soulja Boy apologized for promoting 73 crypto and NFT projects later flagged as scams by Blockcoin investigator Zach XBT, admitting he lacked understanding of the crypto space and was unaware of fraudulent activities. Highly possible. I'm not saying that he's telling the truth. I'm not gonna say that he's lying. I'm saying that it's highly possible. Right? Because when you're famous, people come to you all the time. Can you endorse this? Can you endorse that? Can you endorse this? Can you endorse that? And you might not be up on the game. Meanwhile, your team says, sure, you'll get that endorsement. It's just a name. It's just yeah, I like this. And that's how it happens. It happens that quickly. I've seen it before. Just saying. Pay attention to things. The UK plans to extend financial regulation to crypto companies starting October 2027, with legislation aligning with US approaches but differing from EU regulations, alongside the Bank of England's proposed stablecoin oversight. And one such bill is being introduced today. Just saying. US postal workers stole $156,000 via identity theft. That's not the thing. Swiping cards and stuff like that. That's not the big thing. Having a fictitious bank account, on the other hand, now that was something. That was something. So yeah, we should be out there. We should be careful. Remember, don't accept Zoom invitations or Teams invitations from people you don't know, because it could be a scam. Be very careful out there. Be very, very careful. And also, monitor your accounts. Know what accounts you're supposed to have. Monitor your accounts. You see charges, you see anything like that, monitor your accounts. All right? And don't forget, almost everything that I'm talking about is up as an article on growmybag.tv. Go check them out. Now, what we should also do right now, that's right, is go over the numbers. And let's go do this. Let me get my notes out of the way. When I first got started, I used to be afraid to let you guys catch a glimpse of my notes. But then I was like, wait a minute, that kind of proves that I'm actually doing what I'm saying to do, doing my own research. And I had to, it was a lot to get over. It really was a lot to get. And I don't do it on purpose. It's just that the way my screens are set up, I've got 3 screens that I use regularly, and then 2 more screens over there for more like information intake. So these 3 screens, the way they're set up is I've got the camera and my monitor. I've got the camera over there, the monitor over here, and my notes right over here, so I can see everything with, a slight turn of my head, right? And that's why, my notes show up sometimes. But anyway, as Dow futures up, implied open is 226 points up. S&P futures implied open is 33.25 points up. NASDAQ futures implied open 140 up. Oil down 0.22, and the US 10-year down 0.033. Interesting. Earnings this week. Let's actually go to this week. This is big. You have Micron, Accenture, Nike, Cintas, FedEx, Paychex, Heiko, Carnival, General Mills, Lennar Corporation. Holy moly, you've got so many things coming out there. JBL, Darden Restaurants. That's going to be big. I want to hear what's going on in that food service business. Just to get a general idea about what's going on. Are people spending? I think around Christmas time, those kinds of numbers are kind of like, well, yeah, people are spending. Who's spending? Who's spending on what? Spend now, put it on your credit card. I'm just paying attention to what the trends are. That's why I'm listening to these numbers. And that's why I think you probably should too. Again, this week, we're getting some numbers back. We're expecting U.S. unemployment, hourly wages, all that good stuff. Retail sales minus autos, S&P flash. Business investments on Tuesday as well at 10 tomorrow. You get Fed Gov speak on Wednesday. You get initial jobless claims on Thursday. CPI, delayed CPI from November. You get year over year core CPI. And Friday, you get existing home sales and consumer sentiment, the final number on consumer sentiment. You start to see that, the asterisk right here. Where is it? Just past one. Oh, there they are. So something like this, when you see that asterisk, it means limited October and full November results to be combined in one report. Now you know why I'm kind of like, yeah, I don't know. So we'll see. Crypto Fear and Greed Index, we're all the way down to all the way down to 16. DeFi Llama, we're down to $123.144 billion in total value locked. Bitcoin is currently at, again, wow, currently at, what is it? 89,690. And again, what did I tell you? Right there, my band right there at 93,434 acted as resistance and pushed us down. Acted as resistance and pushed us down. Somebody said that that Bitcoin broke its trend line, and I'm like, what trend line? What trend line? Like you can't get a trend line from here to here to here. That's a curve. You don't really get a trend line. So I don't see how people are saying that, you missed a trend line. Like I just don't see one. I just don't see one. But we'll see if it goes back up. That was a hard drop right there, and it seems to be trying to go back up. We'll see what happens. But again, pay attention to these opportunities. Pay attention to these opportunities. There are opportunities to actually make money. What else do we have going? 360, we're looking at the big board. The big board, again, tells me that there's a lot of opportunity to make money. A lot. BTC, ETH, BCH, XRP, Sol, if you're into that kind of thing, XLM, LTC, SUI, Avalanche, ADA, Doge, Link, SHIB, Uni, ZEC if you're into it, Aave, Hype, BNB, of course. Like what? XMR, Leo if you've done your research, Ton, SUI. There are a few things that I'd be interested in right now. And you know me right now, sprinkle. I play the trade game over here, and I play the long time holding game over here. We'll see. I don't know if I'm going to be holding anything at the end of the month. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how I come into 2026. Again, I think 2026 is going to be tough, but I'm looking at 2026 as a big opportunity. A big opportunity. You have a lot of small businesses that are looking to get out, and that transfer of wealth, I don't know where it's going. Some of these people don't have kids that want the businesses. They don't have grandkids that don't want the businesses. And there doesn't seem to be a lot of money on the table except from people up here to be able to buy those businesses. And people up here don't do that personally. They do it through corporations like Blackstone and BlackRock. So just paying attention to what the opportunities are to see if I can get in on one. So we'll see what happens. If you're looking at right here, you're looking at where Bitcoin is, you can honestly see that Bitcoin and Ethereum are both underwater year to date. Again, Bitcoin could wind up doing not as well as S&P 500. And that would be the first time in 11 years. So we'll see what happens. Maybe there's a Santa rally that happens. I don't know. I do think that people are looking at AI differently, though. It's no longer the wow bang that it was. People are starting to say, well, I didn't get what I was supposed to get or what I thought I was going to get out of it, so I don't know where that is. And there's going to be a pause. That steep incline, I think there's a drop and a pause as companies really start to understand how to implement AI and not have AI everywhere, but have AI where you need it. I'll be coming back a little bit later to talk about that today. What else do we have? That's about it. I probably haven't logged in. Okay, it doesn't matter. Let's take a look at the losers. All right, so losers drop all the way down to here. Is anybody here that I care about? Midnight continues to plummet, but we'll see what happens. Midnight's at 8.633, and its GMB X factor is 0.92. That's after being released. Let's look at the winners. Not a lot of winners, which means that out of the 250, about 240 coins, the top 240 of those coins are just moving sideways. Just moving sideways. Anyway, everybody, this is Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. I hope you like what I'm doing. If you do me a favor, smash the likes, tell your friends about this community. And if you missed out on yesterday's Big Bagger meeting, you missed out on a lot. You should become a member. Pretty soon, only people that are members are going to be able to see the articles and take advantage of the social media platform that we have. And it's a growing one as well. So we're having a lot of fun helping everybody get out there and learn more about investing. Everybody, this is Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. As always, thank you for your time, thank you for your patience, and definitely thank you for your trust. Everybody, I hope you have a great day. I'll see you tonight on the Crypto Overflow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.